of this session for the next hour that we're going to spend together is called One Stop Shop. And there's different permutations of that. Well, what Paolo just talked of is really the ability to sort of build a network and enable the activation of pan-European campaigns and do it and allow it or enable it with greater ease, right? Because it's hard work. What Jamie's going to talk about now is more maybe what some call convergence, but this idea of a fully integrated broadcaster or distributor really bringing together one audience, for video. And how that's transacted, how that's sold, and how data enables that, and what technology is required. AdSmart is a great example of also the importance of standardization and cooperation in order to enable and realize that promise to a marketplace. Jamie?
Perfect, thank you. So, as Ashley said, I'm going to try and keep it a bit more high level and talk a bit more about the strategy that surrounds Sky's thinking. Why are we investing so much money in evolving advertising solutions? And it's really about one thing and one thing alone. It's working in partnership with the brand to deliver an effective advertising outcome. It's not about price, it's not about yield, it's not about Facebook or Google. It's about delivering what the brand needs. You've heard across many different sessions about how viewing behavior has changed, how it's shifting from linear to on-demand to streaming. And it's not just about linear in isolation. But I've got a bit of a home truth for all of the TV broadcasters and platforms in the room. It's not just about TV. If you're an agency or you're a marketeer, you look at your campaign holistically. You look at a campaign that runs across all platforms, all formats, delivering all messages within that, whether that be a call to action, whether it be about a branding instance, whether that be about trying to move the consumer down that purchasing funnel. So we as broadcasters and platforms, I think, need to think differently. We need to think differently to compete. Our strategy is all about enabling brands to buy a single campaign across multiple platforms. And for me, it's not about Facebook and Google or TV. It's not about press versus radio. It's about the combination being the most powerful, bringing TV and digital into a single campaign. Because across all of the studies you will have seen, the combination of media is better when working together and complementing each other. It's about bringing down the barriers, as I said earlier, and serving a single campaign across platforms. But the market has changed. The market has changed in a number of ways, not just in the advertising world. Consumers are expecting a different experience. Consumers are expecting a better advertising experience. You need to deliver relevancies. Advertisers are expecting to be super served. And quite rightly so, because they are in some other industries, not in every industry and not in every way. But some of the support services that the likes of Facebook and Google offer should be celebrated, not knocked. We have to recognize that in this competitive age, we need to compete to win, not just throw stones to win. It doesn't work. If you think as broadcasters today, or even rather yesterday, go back 3 years ago in the UK, I used to think my competitors were ITV and Channel 4. That is no longer acceptable. That is no longer acceptable for a brand, and it's no longer acceptable for an agency. I'm lucky because I work at Sky, and therefore we sit, I believe, right in the heart. The ability to combine data and technology alongside brand safety, alongside premium quality environments. That sweet spot, if you like. So when we think about how we evolve our products and propositions, we think about what we need to acquire or build or learn before we start the actual investment in technology. For us in TV, it starts from that premium quality content experience. That is absolutely paramount. Being able to reach audiences at scale and reach them quickly is absolutely required. But it is the combination of technology, data, analytics, and cross-platform journeys that makes it special, makes it different. And that's where we at Sky are able to bring this all together into one single ecosystem to deliver effective advertising outcomes. It may not be just, it shouldn't be just about the execution. It should be about building in understanding and learning into that process, all with the idea at the very end to deliver a better return on investment for the brand, for the agency, for the broadcaster, for the platform, all of us working together as a team. God forbid. And then you layer on all of these things. It's not unique, it's not clever in many respects, but it is the combination of data, third-party technology, owned and operated together, all built together to bring advertising solutions. You will have heard me talk about, for years, and I apologise, rather bored on about it, AdSmart and addressability, but that is only one of the pillars and investments that we are making. For me, it's about servicing the whole campaign lifecycle. And there are three products, but 4 areas of investment that we're focusing on. How do we bring insight and effectiveness through analytics to the brand and the agency? How do we help them target the right audience at the right time? But then also, how do we take that journey, that advertising journey, from TV into digital? Now, there was a point earlier on today, one of the first sessions, where there was a lot of talk about addressability, and there was a lot of talk about, how AdSmart's performing and all of that sort of thing. Well, the first thing is, I do not believe addressability is right for all brands. I think the vast majority of TV advertisers today will continue to use TV in the way they do today for many a year to come. But it is about building in optionality and flexibility into this powerful medium. The other sort of challenge, I guess, from the panel was price. I think that's the wrong question. It's the wrong question because price is irrelevant. It's about value. It's about understanding the role, the effectiveness, the outcome and the output that this campaign can deliver. And when you can delineate that, that's when you can truly get brands to come back and book again, again, and again. And that's why we have a return rate on addressability on AdSmart of just over 70%. 7 out of 10 brands come back and book second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, no, I can carry on, 10 different campaigns. Our build is about servicing not just the targeting. How do we help you plan, execute, evaluate, and replan your medium? Today, I guess I'd describe it as a bit more of a hamster wheel process. Lovely veneer in the front, but a few people at the background running all of this data and analytics. But over time, that will become a fully automated process, allowing that seamless optimization of campaigns across these platforms, allowing an agency and an advertiser to take control, to surface their own first-party data in a data-compliant way into the TV ecosystem. Why is that important? Because today we play at the top of the funnel. My mission is to make TV relevant to all parts of the marketing funnel. How can we play and compete? Not just, if I just think about the UK market in a £5 billion sort of advertising market today, how do we compete? If you just take the proportion of the overall market that I think is data enabled, how do we compete, let's say, in a £12 billion market? I can tell you, I don't need to take a huge amount of that market to deliver a massive return on investment to the board at Sky. So the challenge for me was to share how people use it, why people use it, and show some case studies. So when I think about those capabilities, you can use them in many different ways with lots and lots of different optionality. Whether it be about extending the reach of your campaign, whether it be driving greater engagement, or whether it be driving inquiries or call to action and response. All of those are available today. Now, I thought I'd take a very British product and image, alcohol, and try and use a bottle of beer to illustrate why targeting and analytics are so important. Today, brands think about their target audience and they go after their target audience. They love the fact, in traditional TV worlds, they're able to build brand fame by getting their message to a broader audience. Advertisers are using the Sky Stack to understand who else beyond the key metric is relevant, optimizing their linear TV schedules. So this time last year, I was on stage with the Argus media controller, talking about how they, from a 3-month period, have driven an extra or incremental £7 million of value from one campaign using AdSmart Analytics, targeting the right spots, the right programs, the right times to drive conversion into Argos stores, Argos being both a physical retailer and an online retailer. They're also using these capabilities to target and find and reach the audience that don't automatically view their campaigns, the people that are really hard to reach, the light TV viewers. Only target the lightest TV viewers. We're also looking at how we think about going beyond TV using products like Sky Advance, which in effect says only target those, or one use case would be only target those households that have not seen my ad. Give me incremental cover and I will pay X price for that. Giving agencies and brands the ability to deliver their campaigns efficiently and optimally across multiple platforms. Geo-targeting, helping brands to target within the vicinity or regionality of a store. Being able to target against commute time or distance. I will only want to target those that are in a 15-minute commute of my hairdresser. I don't know why I said hairdresser. My car dealership. Or 5 miles from my supermarket, 5 miles of my store opening, whatever it may be. Or indeed, if you're not reaching them on TV, using that same targeting capability, much as you do today, but in the digital environment. But instead of in isolation, as a single campaign across multiple platforms. Data-driven TV, think about optionality. What can we do today that we couldn't do before? How do we optimize our campaigns to drive customer acquisition? How do we think about driving the consumers through curated journeys of TV execution across the multiple platforms, whether it be TV or digital? Targeting lapsed customers, so only targeting those that they know have either not fulfilled their shopping basket, or indeed, which will be immediately lapsed, or whatever, or those that haven't shopped in my store for the last 3, 6, 9 months. All of those been used, these capabilities or these use cases have been used in the last 3 months. And then looking at how we can target customers to buy again, buy high-value products, looking at increasing store visits, looking at how we can drive online transaction from one TV ad. And it's working. The stats that the guys used earlier on today are absolutely right. 2/3 of the brands active on AdSmart are new to TV or new to Sky. We are growing the TV market. We are effectively competing with the likes of Facebook, Google, effectively competing in a direct mail space. We're effectively competing, in the case of McLaren, with books that were being sent and hand-delivered to customers. That McLaren car cost £175,000. It was sold within the first 36 hours, and the only communication they got was via Sky AdSmart. They built out a brand image, but we drove that conversion. Whether it be about stores, whether it be about analytics, whether it be about optimization, we as TV channels and TV platforms have an opportunity to compete with Facebook and Google and the digital players. We have an opportunity to compete if we collaborate. It is not a case, it is not acceptable, I believe, just to throw stones. We need to give advertisers the opportunity and the choice to spend, not just demand they spend. Thank you.
Ask you a question? Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to ask a question, and then I'll take one and see if there's in the audience. So, Jamie, what I'm very interested about, having seen sort of just, you guys are really, you're always leading, right? So kudos to you. Thank you for doing that. But are you responding to demand from buyers, whether it's agencies and marketers, or have you, is really your position is that you're anticipating that in order to accelerate growth or to fuel growth or be a catalyst, this is what the market needs? Is it really ready for what you're offering it yet?
I kind of think it's a mixture of two. I mean, we're lucky enough at Sky to be a relatively large advertiser, not just in the UK, but across Europe. And I guess my starting point for, innovation and evolution of product is all about, okay, what works for you, Mr. Marketeer? We start from there, and then we try and go off and build. But absolutely none of that innovation, or very little of that innovation, is down to me. It's down to market feedback, market demand, and client requirements, whether that be the agency or the advertiser. And if we stay true to our mantra of, how do we make advertising more effective? How do we grow the overall market? Then I kind of think we're onto a relatively good thing.
And is most of what you've shown in the UK, are these isolated by market, or are you doing cross-market as well?
So in most instances, we've launched in the UK first. So for example, AdSmart went live a few years ago in the UK, Italy 2 years ago, Ireland earlier on this year, and Germany in, actually, we haven't announced that, not yet. Just realized, nearly tripped myself up there. Sky Advance is working out across all territories as well over time as we build out our viewing panels. In the UK, we have a 3 million home viewing panel of second-by-second viewing data that by the end of Q1 will be nearer 5 million, with an ambition to get to nearer 8 million within 12 months. And my ambition across all of the territories, across all of the markets that Sky operates in, is to have consistent capabilities, so that whether you're a brand, whether it be Ford or Volkswagen in the automotive sector, or retailer or an online retailer, you can expect to have that same consistency in each of the markets.
And confidence in performance, I take it.
Confidence in performance, confidence in brand safety, viewability, and confidence in data security. I think that's as equally as important in this day and age.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right.
Oh, there's one at the back.
Wait, there's one way in the back.
What's the next evolution for AdSmart?
So the biggest news over the last 12 months was the collaboration
Germany.
Was the collaboration with Virgin, which for us was a major step forward. AdSmart has been in market for 4 years now. We've gone from, I guess, 100 or so fixed attributes to 1,462 that you can choose from and combine. We launched custom segments 18 months ago, and for us it's about bringing more capability, but also more scale, so more channels, but also more or greater reach. So, with Virgin, we get to potentially access another 3.5 million households, which is really important to us. But I absolutely believe that we'll have line of sight, or we do have line of sight to reach that maybe by 2020 that we can achieve sort of 60% household reach in the UK. And my ambition is to get that across that same level of penetration, if you like, across all of the territories. It's going to be different sort of technologies, but under the same skin or banner of AdSmart, because you don't have the same technology in an OTT service, a connected TV service, as well as a set-top box service. So we need to make that simple and easy to transact across those platforms.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks,
Cool.
Jamie.
Thanks.
All right.